This is a claim map of the Ring of Fire. It's quite a large area, and to put things in perspective, the next slide is the same claim map, uncolored. Next slide, please. We lost the slide. There it is. This is the same claim map that defines the Ring of Fire, and I superimpose into it the size of the Sudbury Basin, which has been in production for 100 years now, and all of these 100 years, new discoveries have been made. And the Ring of Fire is a new development. It's virgin territory, and in a very few short years, we've not only found chrome deposits, we found nickel copper deposits with platinum and palladium. There have been copper zinc deposits, and not too far away there's diamonds. So this is a new frontier, and I think there's something to be hopeful in this. Thank you.
So what does it all mean? Stainless steel is used everywhere in the globe's industrialization and urbanization. It can be made without nickel. It can be made with nickel. However, it cannot be made without chrome. Chrome is essential. Every 100 pounds of stainless steel includes some 15 or more pounds of chrome. It is what puts the stainless into the steel, as most said. However, North American stainless steel has been produced for decades with manufacturing scrap and imported ferrochrome, as there has not been a domestic source of supply. Because of this, chrome alloys are an important part of the North American strategic stockpile. As you saw from most slides, the discoveries made by FreeWest and the joint venture of FreeWest Spider and KWG have identified large and high-grade chrome deposits which can soon secure North American self-sufficiency in this crucially important strategic metal. Cliffs Natural Resources has been a principal supplier of iron and coal to the continent steelmakers for almost 200 years. They have determined that a domestic and export ferrochrome business has now become possible because of these discoveries, perhaps for decades to come. They have said the capital investment could be $800 million for construction of mines and ferrochrome facilities alone. Last week, as most said, they paid about $225 million to buy FreeWest. With that purchase, Cliffs acquired 100% of the Black Thor deposit and 47% of the Big Daddy deposit. FreeWest had disclosed that the Black Thor deposit contained a resource of over 69 million tons of about 32% chrome oxide. What that means, that in every ton of rock, there's about 720 pounds of recoverable ferrochrome. Ferrochrome sells for a little over $1 a pound right now, although it's been down to 70 cents or so. But recently it was also up to $2.50 and more. But you get the picture. If my math is correct, that is something of the order of $50 billion worth of ferrochrome in the ground at Black Thor. And just wait until we can disclose the size of Big Daddy. What you should also understand, though, is that those are the tons that can be recovered from an open pit. We have no idea how far down that chrome vein continues. Mo and his fellow geologists are convinced that it doesn't just stop there. Our company, KWG, has a 50-50 joint venture with Spider, and that joint venture owns the other 53% of the Big Daddy deposit. It appears to be at least half the size of the Black Thor at a somewhat higher chromium content. We haven't finalized our resource calculation yet, so under the rules, I can't say too much more about the Big Daddy, except that I did not name it, but the guy who did is a geologist. He's one of our guests, and you could maybe ask him about it afterward. That would be Spider's president, Neil Novak, is sitting right over there somewhere. If he thinks it's a Big Daddy, I think it's a Big Daddy. There is a tremendous amount of work to be done to determine how economic these mines can be and when they can be developed. It goes without saying that an undertaking of this scope will require a great deal of careful planning and collaboration to ensure that we get it right. I'm mindful that your provincial member, the Honourable Michael Gravel, is the Minister of Northern Development, Mines and Forests. We look forward to a positive working relationship with Minister Gravel and his staff throughout the development of this initiative. Planning for and developing a mine is one thing, but as the deposits are way up there and the markets are everywhere else, so it is clear to us that the good stuff will probably have to come down here from up there by way of a railroad. It is probably severely understating the obvious to say that that is going to be a major challenge. To be successful in it, we must first form a business alliance with, and I said business alliance, with all of the First Nations who will be affected by such a project. With them, and in collaboration with the provincial and federal governments, we must undertake consultation to ensure that their communities have a full understanding of and role in the proposed development. In this regard, I appreciate that the development of community-based land use plans by First Nations will be an important vehicle for those communities to identify the values on the land base that are important to them. Having said that, the lawyer in me wonders why we apply laws that have had only first reading, but we'll see what happens to that. In addition, with the First Nations and in cooperation with the federal, provincial, and municipal governments, as well as other very interested stakeholders, we must fully and thoroughly analyze, through a broad and comprehensive regional land use planning process, impacts on a whole range of values, including biodiversity, watersheds, carbon, mercury mobilization, fish and wildlife, spiritual sites and values, and so on. We must together ensure sustainable development that includes the larger public interest on watershed protection, greater ecosystem functionality, human health, and carbon accounting. These values will ultimately dictate the best location of a transportation corridor and possibly one or more town sites. There is a lot to do. This development is unlike anything seen in North America since the 1940s, when the Labrador iron deposits were developed. The Ring of Fire is a new frontier in the development of Ontario and Canada. There is chrome. There's lots and lots of chrome. There may be abundant nickel. There is copper and zinc. There is vanadium and titanium. There is gold up there somewhere. There's diamonds, we know. There's platinum and palladium. All of these are documented. They are not mines, far from it, but they are all indicated in the Ring of Fire. As this new frontier in the development of Ontario and of Canada blossoms, I think it has the potential to make Thunder Bay the future mining hub of Canada. You may see the national investment banking and legal firms establish a significant presence in Thunder Bay as these kinds of mineral developments happen. I think for the development of the Ring of Fire, Thunder Bay has those three most important things going for it in real estate. First, location; second, location; and third, location. And I devoutly believe the Ring of Fire also has the potential of productively changing our relationship with the First Nations in this part of Ontario. Premier McGuinty's government has funded its declared commitment to identifying mechanisms for revenue sharing. We must enthusiastically applaud that and hope to be able to assist the process with our share in these discoveries. For me personally, it is a cause and a mission. This is not going to happen overnight, and there is much work to be done. However, this much I can say: it will require the cooperation and involvement of everyone in this room working together, side by side, to not only unlock the economic value of the area, but to bring the social, educational, and development spin-offs that accompany such an endeavor, thus unleashing the entire potential for jobs, jobs, jobs. This is vastly more powerful than the mines alone. Thank you very much.